afternoon, folks. Welcome to Gobbler Games. Another professional start to the stream there with a question posed by Graham that we're not going to get to answer. Hello, welcome to Coriolis. My name's Millie, and we're going to go to space. Space. I have got some friends who are going to come to space with me. Who should we say hello to first? Pete, you're looking grumpy.
No,
Oh, okay.
that was me looking adventurous.
Adventurous. All right.
Space.
Okay.
Space.
It's clearly a dwarven adventurer then. It's just like
Exactly.
Dwarven adventurer. How you're doing some
This is my happy face.
World Mountain dwarves and stuff, aren't you?
Yeah.
They were in a canal system or something recently on maps.
Yeah. Carrying on the Dungeon 23 in my kind of catching up kind of way. Because of life and stuff. Bark Dumaraz continues to grow. The canal system that I was drawing up, the kind of point, it's like a point crawl, trying to figure out how all the maps I'm drawing fit together, which is on the Discord in the It's a Map channel. It's a map. Yes.
And that has lots of dwarves in. There we go. That was irrelevant. That was almost like we rehearsed it. We didn't, folks. We didn't. So you're well, you do maps.
I am well.
World Mountain is currently still well. Like, I don't know whether
there's something coming soon.
Planned a cataclysm or anything for it narratively.
Oh, no. They just I mean, the whole place has been taken over by horrible things, but that's that's something else.
The whole place or just our lawn?
The whole place. No, yeah, just the bit in the middle, the sandwich, the filling is evil.
Nice.
So Marmite.
Yeah.
No. That's ambrosia from the heavens.
Oh
Marmite.
dear.
Oh. Yeah. There's the chaotic evil there from Pete, I think.
Yeah.
Bring it.
I mean, Marmite is essentially any kind of pond scum that someone scoops into a jar and sold to you.
It's the scrapings from the bottom of the beer barrel. It's the best bit.
Does Yusuf share this heretical belief with you as well?
Of course.
Well, Yusuf drinks Musaa Kula, so we know he can't be trusted.
It's the one thing that none of my characters will do. That's not, hate Marmite. No, they'll all love Marmite.
Everyone's got to have a principle. That's your hill.
That's everything.
My characters like Marmite.
Some people always play paladins.
Right. When it
Some
comes
people...
to that bit, did you learn something new about your shipmates? Nailed it.
Yep.
Oh, that's a good point. We should probably do some XP because we have transitioned from one thing to another. So
okay, that wasn't why I mentioned
that was a good.
Well done, Graham. Well done.
Speaking of Graham, how are you, my dear?
Pretty chipper, to be honest with you.
Pretty chipper.
Work is pretty tough. Keep losing my voice. I like Coriolis though, so it's all worth it. So.
How is Silsilla?
Excited. Get to turn all the engines on into the red zone. Probably do a barrel roll for no reason, and then go sideways through the portal.
And we also
just so you can movie style just spin around.
To the pariah.
Of the pariah.
Oh, nice. We also learned something a little bit weird about. I guess we'll cover that in the.
And Gear4C does not exist. So
And
it's allowed to go through.
In the XP's bit.
Okay.
Because did you learn something new about your character? Yeah, we learned he's actually probably more of a big deal with the colonials than he realised.
Doesn't quite drive the bus, or maybe he drives his own bus. I'm my own cover.
You are your own cover. Excellent. Ben.
Hello.
My friend. How are thee?
Oh, I'm okay.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
As I sit here bathed in the light of the
Emissary.
icons.
Yeah,
Emissary.
It's the embassy. That is. I'm not going to answer that question. Actually, I'm not going to answer that because I know. I hear you have begun the Coriolis.
I have begun Coriolis, Mercy of the Icons. At the very beginning, we've done Last Voyage of the Ghazali, and we started at the very start of Emissary Lost with the exciting scene in the coffee shop in the spaceport, Neoptra.
The Neoptra, and everybody's
and it was running and shouting.
It was running. There was Coriolis guards, I imagine.
Oh, well, were they? Too clean shaven for Coriolis guard.
No, they must be Coriolis guards.
They must be, yeah.
Nothing suspect going on there. Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah.
It's
quite exciting for me as well because I wasn't in this at the very beginning, so I'm getting to see the very beginning.
Yeah. Pete joined, and yourself joined at
on Kua.
On Kua, yeah, the Kuan Connection, as it is called. Oh, those heady days of simply just trying to find an emissary, not stumbling into weird cults, and I've just seen the channel prediction, and I'm gonna join in.
Is it regarding Marmite?
Yes, I'm gonna join in with a custom vote.
Oh right, how do I do this?
There we go.
I've got infinite points though, right? Can't I just?
Oh yeah, I have no idea how to do that.
I'm not sure. As the channel owner, you're allowed to join in.
Anyway, we should probably
That's a fix.
I'm assuming everyone is just a normal person who dislikes Marmite. How do I just say screw Marmite? You press on that?
You just pick one of the choices between I like and bleh.
Oh man.
Well, whilst
I'm feeling victimized today. What's going on?
Deservedly so, of them. Very rarely say that about something, but you know.
Mostly the icons come for the RPGs, stay for the decisive Marmite conversation.
The Marmite
chat.
Where does Shanaz
stay for
fall
the vitamin B12?
Where does Shanaz fall on the Marmite prediction?
Shanaz would have to be staunchly anti-Marmite because it lingers, doesn't it? I mean, it's sticky, it lingers, it stains.
He's like, yes, these are why I like it.
Good reasons.
No.
I've still got some in my moustache.
I was going to say, is that like a Marmite stained bookcase behind you?
And
but there is a jar of Marmite just over his shoulder there. You can just about see it.
Oh, we're doing product placement. We should totally do that, yeah. I've got
product
my
placement?
Musaa Kula t-shirt.
I would never accept product placement from Musaa Kula. They're just too delicious. I would spend all my own money on them. Did that work?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Musaa Kula, the finest cola this side of Debaran. That one, you mean?
Yeah. All right, enough of this shenanigans. I need to find the XP question.
Whoa! What happened? There's a big swing there for some reason. I'm going to shut up now, but we went from 3-1 against basically 2-1 for Marmite.
Looks like Pete's cheated. Oh, has he closed the prediction? He only did, you know. Oh, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. I can still fix the outcome.
Oh, well,
you can't, because now we need Matt to come and end it.
You can't say that out loud.
I mean, I approve.
We need Matt to come and do the answer if you end the prediction.
So well done, right thinking people. It looks like you won with the same kind of majority that scored the UK Brexit. So
it was the right choice. Page 28. Okay. Enough of these shenanigans. Let's get to some Coriolis. So we have we've left basically our encounter on Coriolis, which is almost like a mini chapter in what's happening. Lots of things went left and right. We discovered a few things. We now suspect a few things. Oh no, I've got more channel points. I didn't want.
That's the secret. Oh, he's reopened it. Look at that. That's power.
Okay.
All right, we should put the Marmite Wars to one side. We'll do that when we're doing like this is what's on for the rest of the week. Fire it off.
Yeah, come on, Pete.
Do it in the background.
Pete, this is experience, mate.
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything. I haven't done it.
Yowzum. What are you there? Is this someone from North America playing around with our XP?
No, it must be Nightbot.
Yeah. Whilst we wrangle things, so we've left Coriolis.
Yeah.
We were going to be going to Mira for a mission. Someone waylaid us, and we are going left to Dal, I think, off the top of my head. Let me get the map out. We're going to save a missing diplomat. Or
we are.
Something.
Yes.
Councilman.
Ambassador. Nope, didn't write him down.
I've got his stuff in
Dia or Kia, something like that.
In the book. I've got it in the book. But First question: did everybody participate in the last chapter? Yes, you all get an XP.
Yes.
Did you overcome any difficult challenges to help your crew reach its current goal? Did we have any difficult challenges at Coriolis?
Silsilla was getting followed.
There was that tiny little funding a rebellion
Actually,
thing.
Yeah. And the
Varian-
explosion and helping people and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
Does Varian count? Because he was against us and now he's with us. Because like we called him, didn't we? Now he's like our friend. Well, he thinks we're his friend is probably more accurate putting it. But yeah, he was tying us up with security, making us get permits, and then after we called him, none of that's happening anymore as far as we know.
Okay, so yeah, I think negotiating with Varian was a challenge. What else did we do? Anything else?
Shinaz's meeting with the
Finding out about all the
council lady?
mirror stuff and the council. Yeah, so I spoke to the councillor and
the one who got
the
arrested.
Red Spider Network
Galleys
folks,
and the alleys
and
even.
hit up the temple to find out that the courtesan college on Coriolis was shut, and that was sus.
Okay. And what about Yusuf? Did they do anything that would?
Tracking down the children of the song and starting to understand what's going on there with the kind of link to the broader story.
Yeah, we went down into the
to-
cellar. That's
yeah
that kind of stuff. Cool. Okay. Next question. Did you put yourself or your crew at risk because of your personal problem? Was anybody really at risk on Coriolis?
I don't know. I mean, where does this start from? What,
I mean, you two were. Kind
of. We may have been blown up at one point.
I would
and part of
argue
the revolution stuff.
Yusuf making such a big donation to a political party when he's supposed to be like an on the run ex-slave might be putting himself at risk because of his personal
But it's
problem.
because of my escaped, thing. I'm like, I want to help these people. So yeah.
I mean, Graham put himself at risk as well by being the only non-mystic in a room full of somewhat fundy mystics.
We did also drag ourselves through the danger side to get through the market and stuff like that.
How was that your personal problem? That's the question here.
Yeah, I guess it's the confidence thing. Like, I mean, Silsil's got no business going to look for the children of the song whatsoever, and no business following Kirsch into the part of Coriolis that Kirsch is comfortable with. But he was just like, yeah, let's go.
Let's go. I belong here.
And then...
Sorry, just
I was going to say, when we
was.
were told that the Coriolis patrol might come and kill us, we're like, don't get them. Let's go and shoot them first. I mean... Yeah, sorry, go on, Ben.
Yeah, I went up to a religious scholar and I went, hey, religious scholar, tell me about the Nazarene sacrifice and the aspect of the dance that they call the beast. And he was like, lol, nope. And
yes.
My personal problem is that she causes controversy wherever she goes. And that's fairly controversial.
Yes, very controversial, especially in the Church of the Icons. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
This slightly feels like an exam I didn't prepare for because I genuinely didn't know we were going to do XP. I'm like, where does this bit start and ending of it?
So just like
also for the confidence part, very definitely telling a bunch of complete strangers that I have a plan to get them out of this massive blockade when other than hit it, Chewie, I really don't.
Okay.
Which also endangers those two. So
yeah,
apologies.
it does.
Hit it, Chewie, as a plan.
Hit it, Chewie, is a plan. Hit it, Nyruk. Did you learn something new about yourself or another PC?
I love Marmite.
No, they didn't learn that. We knew it.
I learned that I give a shit.
Oh, nice.
And that there's something that a bigger cause that I'm actually like feeling strongly about rather than just like keeping my head down. Like you said, I took a risk because I suddenly was like, no, I feel like I've got to get involved. And it's like all these kind of stirring feelings that he's not used to having because he's just normally got his head down digging a hole or mining something.
Yeah, I caught a little bit of all that with the whole under marketplace. I would probably say that like Silsila's had his maybe his outlook widened by Shanaz, because you were just like a Love Island style celebrity, and now suddenly you'd like join lines between things that are going to happen and will happen, and I'm like, shit. Are we doing stuff about that? We should do something about that. Nobody else is.
Cool.
Which is why we suddenly have to rescue Ambassador. Is it Kia or Dia?
Yeah.
Dia. And yeah, we just that plot hook just yanked us over there.
Which is another one of those lines, because both you and I know who this person is for completely different reasons.
Yeah, I think Shanaz was the only one who recognised the name, but Silsila was like, "Oh, it's the Colonial Agency, and they want this person. That must be important." Like,
so I think the thing I learned is probably the mematurgy side of things, because that was what Shanaz was digging into, and she's learned that her media presence, whilst it was fun for what it was, could actually serve a significantly more important function in terms of meme culture conflict and fighting back against the messages coming from the as yet unknown opposition.
Spoopies.
Yeah, so we've got a talkie weapon to hopefully grow and use.
Cool. Did you sacrifice or risk something for your PC buddies?
Other than all of my money, no. Because I did not buy sniper rifles. I gave my money to Yusuf instead. And yeah, I did. No, it wasn't for. I did try and warn the Prophet about the globes and the void ships.
Oh yeah. You tried to warn them where this stuff.
I knew they weren't going to take me seriously, but I figured Silsila would at least.
I don't think I did in this bit, because we kind of went off and did our own little things.
We
all crossed and went away. And finally, then, did you act in accordance with your icon?
I think so.
Yeah. Did the faceless?
Took a risk. I doubled
you're
down.
the gambler. You're the gambler, aren't you?
Yeah.
It definitely took a risk there.
All in.
Definitely, Yusuf. Yeah. How
Just
about
say various poker terms. There we go.
Yeah, all in. Called. Didn't call.
Yep.
Don't fold though. That does not.
Oh yeah.
No, the gambler doesn't fold.
No.
Which is like written on the bumper sticker of the ship.
But occasionally I do flop.
Better check out that river.
Okay. How about Shanaz? What is her icon, and did she act in accordance with it?
Dancer. Her icon is the dancer, and yes, she did, because the dancer is also communication and transmission of ideas, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not just about being nimble.
No. Okay. And then Silsila, what is your icon?
My icon is the deckhand, which I sort of interpret it as trying to look after your crewmates.
Okay.
Which is partly trying to help Kirsch out with all her lizard, Lekma lizard
Lekma
troubles.
lizard. She did some good trading. We found out what she's got on the Discord. If you didn't know.
Going to help Yusuf with finding a song I know nothing about, but you might need a backup. And off into the markets with both Kirsch and Yusuf.
Excellent. Okay, so that concludes like the questions. Did you make a tally mark? How many did folks get?
5.
5, which is enough to upgrade something, get a talent, that kind of stuff.
Talents are far more fun.
We did an you can just bank them, so it was a bit of a surprise that we did this today, because I completely forgot that as we are moving into a new section, we should do XPs.
I have got a huge long list of things that I need to spend XP on. It's just picking which one.
Yeah, so
I quite like to do it.
Mystic powers.
What's the from the story? So I think I will take science.
You're gonna take some science?
Yeah, well, the last thing, maybe that'll be infiltration. But like the last thing we did, we've been learning how to do like Navicomp
Oh, not so avoid the portal
Yeah, basically.
That's true.
Yeah.
points.
That kind of fits in with him a little bit.
You've been watching Jafar's YouTube channel.
I just have this weird French accent for no reason now.
Cousin, smile at the camera. I do not want to smile at the camera. I'm in the middle. Smile at the camera. I didn't make your face. Put your hat on.
Only when you're doing astrogation, though.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Silsilla. You just affect the French accent.
The parsec? I'm German then, so apologies. It's because I decided to start with Z for some reason.
Le parsec.
I should start with Zutala.
Deux parsec. Trois parsec. But yeah, you can bank them and pick when we're not like here, or if you have an idea, if you have mapped your character out and been organised towards Uber Shanaz.
If you're watching this now and you think Silsilla should spend his experience somewhere or other, stick it in the chat and I'll pick one of them.
There you
if
go.
Nobody does that, I'll just pick.
Yeah.
That's also Silsilla, I think.
Let Graham design Silsilla for us. Cool. All right.
I'm going to take the agitator talent.
Oh.
I did not expect to last this long as Silsilla. So,
Really?
I mean, if you're an overconfident character who, well, I only took 3 skills, so it didn't seem destined to end that well. Jumped off a cliff at some point.
Nice.
So yeah, and now I'm going to fly sideways through a blockade.
Oh yes, I'm very
yeah.
definitely taking agitator.
Nice. Successes. That's the one where you can rouse a speech to get folks to come to your aid or not.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't know why.
I'm going to take telekinesis.
Kyle.
That's mind bullets.
Nice.
Unfortunately, these are mind nerf bullets.
To start with, like you could get bigger
if
and
you're close
stronger.
enough, they still hurt.
It doesn't. It says you cannot use this in combat.
Oh, okay. There is one. I think there is
There's one that makes a shield.
Mm-hmm.
There isn't one that allows you to shoot mind bullets.
Okay.
I mean, you should be able to throw stuff at people, like hard.
No, I think this might come in handy to like,
Yoink.
pull the lightsaber out of the ice kind of thing or something. Like a key moment, pick something up.
Put the safety on somebody's gun while they're pointing at you.
That kind of thing. Yeah.
Very spooky. I like it.
It's that or stop, where you can stop an NPC from performing an action she otherwise would have. Must be something subtle that can be attributed to simple forgetfulness.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
You then get to hit them with a hammer.
Yeah.
It's productive maintenance.
Stop or telekinesis. Let's see what the because it says things like simple examples would be that the NPC lets the PCs pass a roadblock without checking their papers or forgets her keys somewhere. Power cannot be used to stop an incoming attack. Telekinesis, I can move tiny objects. No roll needed unless you want to do like turn a key in a lock. The power cannot be used in combat.
I don't know. Is there any flying
obviously, it's the greatest pilot in the Horizon.
On the third horizon. Yeah. We can look later. I recommend we look later. If somebody knows the page, drop it in a comment or a chat, and we can check. But we can check later. Okay, so
I'm gonna go with stop.
Excellent. We were at a blockade. Yoons contacted Silsilla on a colonial agency channel. It was like, "Oh, the agency have sent you to help us. Brilliant." They yeah, side eye from Shanaz, like, "Yeah, sure."
Have they? All right.
And Silsilla was like, "Yeah, of course they have." And they sent you some data. Adia pointed out that it was for a completely different direction. Like, these folks want to go left to Iwaz, whereas you wanted to go right to Zalos and then to Mira.
But that way bad things were, right? In Zalos.
Zalos is where the pariah live, and here at where are we? Oh no, where I was, sorry, my bad. Where I was, Yoons wants us to go left to Arai, and we wanted to go right to Zalos. But here I was, the Pariah, Order of the Pariah, have put up a blockade and are only allowing certain people through because you could, from this point, get to their home system, Zalos, and they are quite prickly at the moment. I don't know why, because maybe they went to get people from Coriolis and Coriolis blew them up with the Legion. Maybe because they are up to shady things in their system. I don't know. But we were going to try and go from there to Zalos to Mira to find an artifact for almost everybody. We'd lined it up so everybody knew we were going to Mira and believed it. And now we're going to go left and go to Arai to save a missing diplomat. Adi was like, boss,
Because it's us.
boss, I've just done all the calculations to go to this way. It's going to take another 3 hours at least for me to recalculate everything.
Definitely like Zach Brannigan.
Yeah. At which case you all went, that's fine. We'll just arrange for Yoons' ship to run the portal, break the blockade, and because we are a small nippy blockade runner, we will beat that blockade and jump through the portal.
Sounds fair.
Adi was like, great. And I remember one success being generated. It wasn't the best portal calculations. They were quick and dirty sort of thing. But definitely he's got the maths right. We plug it into the computer. We set the sort of timers. Yoons and his crew from his ship, which is like a trawler ship or whatever. It's not doesn't look like a very nice or cool sort of ship. Set their autopilot and spacewalked back. So Yoons and 4 others, so a total of 5 folks join your crew. Which, like, when he arrives, do you immediately be like, "Yo, folks, get into stasis," or do you talk to them, or?
Yeah, I think because he thinks Silsilla is in charge, probably try and that impression with them.
Okay.
So I guess he would ask them like, what's their specialties and things like that.
Oh, and that I guess that's the other thing. Like there is maybe an hour or so where Yoons and co are not on your ship. So if you wanted to have like a crew huddle before they arrived, that's a thing. Like aside from Adia, who has to do the math, the rest of you, including Kirsch, can meet in the now clean canteen and discuss like what the plan is, what's going on, what do we understand, maybe look up anything we need to know without, like, prepare to continue the deception or come clean or something. I don't know. What is this is your opportunity, I guess, to talk about the plan.
Just out of curiosity, the Pariah presumably don't like the ranges because
the Pariah at this point in time, dropping books, the Pariah at this point, like every interaction you've had with them is like, they're isolationists and they're closing their borders.
They don't like anyone.
Yeah, they don't like anybody right now. There are probably like times where they've had like agreeable and cordial,
like beneficial trade relations.
yeah, that kind of stuff. But now they're
equal opportunities bigots.
Yes, now they just hate everybody. And it seems they're going that extra step of isolationism in their preventing people getting access to their system.
Plan C. Don't know if this works. You're the spaceship captain. You tell me. Could we disseminate portal calculations to all these other ships as well and give them the option to run the portal at the same time?
That is an amazing idea, and I vote yes.
But do we know who we can trust out of them and who we're not sure about?
Doesn't make any difference.
Why would we bother? Just
we'll press
give it
the
to all
go
of them.
button, then send them out, and because they're moving after us, they're easier to catch. So you've got a whole. How many ships are there? Like 50, 100 sort
There's
of.
probably around 50 just
Yeah.
sort of
So
parked
you've
up
got
waiting.
everyone's running. We've started this, so they have to react to us. The people at the back are the easy to catch.
I don't really want people being caught. I'm more
Well-
thinking, how many people can we get away? Because it doesn't look like they're going to let anyone go anywhere.
It's out of character. It's one portal, right?
Mhm.
And you
Yeah.
do a calculation through it to where you want to go, so you can go
Yeah.
that way or that way.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Yeah, that's
I
how we
understand
piggyback in the caravan, isn't it?
Yeah,
But it's the same portal you would go to Zalos or Erai.
yeah,
You just do your calculations through that portal.
It
Sort of a
sound
network.
it's sort of like the portal stations have a limit, and each one sort of connects to like a sizable star that the next portal sort of orbits, which is how
Okay.
there's like a different portals are a nexus to
Yeah, yeah.
different places, rather than
Mm-hmm.
I get in the Coriolis portal and I go there. Like they only go so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like sequential stargates rather than omni
Yeah.
stargates. You can't go
Yes.
everywhere.
Mhm.
Imagine
Yep.
your calculations are to account for like whatever gravitational forces are currently there. What's orbiting around something at this time of year that it was?
Yeah, the calculations for a caravan are different than the calculations for an individual,
Right.
and like you would have to adjust for like
Well,
your calculations for the Kudapatilla would not work for somebody else because of the mass of their ship or the
we've
yeah.
got two sets of calculations. Big freighter.
Mhm.
Let's just do it. If no one else leaves, that's perfectly fine. But if someone else jumps out with us, then well done. Plus, if most people leave, that's quite a big thumbs up.
That's the bit that Shanaz wouldn't understand, though, that you have to run separate calculations for each ship, because she'd be like, just, it's the 10
Mhm.
o'clock run through it at 10 o'clock.
Mhm.
It's
Well,
the 10 o'clock maths.
people
Like,
can
no,
choose
you don't
to
understand.
make that choice or not, I guess. And if you're similar enough that you think you'll survive to either of the two ships, then let's go.
Okay, so we wanna send out our calculations for.
So I think
So you've actually got 3 sets of calculations, or you will have by the time Adir is finished. You'll have
the left, right, and
the
freighter.
trawler,
Mhm.
Zalos, and then a
Yeah.
blockade runner.
So out of character, my suggestion is that we tell the trawler to go, send out the calculations to everybody, and then hit our own go buttons.
You're the captain.
Yeah, because we're going to get their empty ship to run it, and then we'd go
Yeah,
as well. But
so-
then if everyone else starts moving, then it'll be a bit of a general mess.
Yeah,
But we should
exactly.
make the signal come from their ship rather than ours.
Yes, that's a good
That's a
point.
good shout.
Okay, so Yoon's ship is going to be the one that broadcasts the
Yeah,
details.
good idea.
All right then.
And like, what does Silsila explain to everybody? Like, do you say like, look, they think I still work for the Colonial Agency? I don't. Do you, or do you not? Like,
No,
how do
I
we
think I
address?
just tell them that they're fellow rangers, and that they've asked for a hand. It might be slightly surprising to Yusuf and Shinaz that Silsila acts like he's in charge of the other rangers, and they accept it.
Okay.
Nothing surprises me about Silsila.
I love being the chaos person. So
Silsila suddenly deciding that they're in charge of a group of people. I'm not going to shit on your parade. It's like, hey,
Okay.
you're in charge, Captain.
all right.
Just wear a veil to hide the rest of the trips. Shanaz's veil just to hide the. Okay.
Well, yeah. Do they have any particular skills I should know about at all? Like if they've got a gunner, then they can go and sit in the correct seat.
These folks all right. So Yoon's and his crew
Sorry, one last thing.
Okay.
Sorry. I'm also going to get Silsila to tell them about Kirsch and make it clear that Kirsch and Adia are part of the crew.
Oh,
But I won't even mention Adia. I just said that Kirsch is part of the crew.
okay. They Yoon's and his crew arrive on the ship. All right, we've set the autopilot. Going to kick off in about 20 space minutes. give us time to whatever. Introduces you to a bunch of folks, and he gives you like their specialties, and they are like a personal protection extraction kind of. They're a VIP crew sort of thing. So one of them's a medic, and then there's a bodyguard and like a comms chap and that kind of stuff. And then the last one is essentially somebody who flies the bus.
Give him a wink. Hello, fellow bus driver.
He nods.
But they actually do have a bus. We don't.
Yeah, there would be a bus. They don't have like a massive amount of kit with them. They are quite subtle, but they have got like obviously exosuits and things to spacewalk here and there, and they've got some like close combat and long range specialties between them. The medic has got a pretty decent like trauma kit with them. They have some good comms set up and that kind of thing. But there's nothing like we've got MI5 kit.
Mad Dave with his personal rocket launcher.
No.
Just might boot himself to the front of the ship. Don't worry about him. I will also introduce like Shanaz as our face, I guess, and Yusuf as our inside man.
Oh right, okay. Yoons is like, it's not a double then. That's the real Shanaz from Stars and Dabara.
I'm right here.
Literally have
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, ma'am. Sorry. Yeah. No, like I watched all your stuff when we were on. And he stops, like he's about to be like, I watched all your stuff when I was on a mission doing this, that, and that. Like he stops. He's like, no, I watched all of your season, twice.
Well, thank you.
That was some
it's nice to know that it's still remembered.
He like episode, season 3, episode 4. That dance with in the court. It's amazing. I cried. And the other guys are like, that kind of stuff. And then real Shanaz. Wow, that's impressive. That's gonna. Okay. Is there a place we can stow our stuff and get everything done?
And the real Yusuf
I was
as well.
going to say that, as this is the real
Yusuf. Yusuf is completely original. There's
like
no way anybody could duplicate Yusuf.
One of them is like,
myself, but it's like being the real Andrew Ridgeley, isn't it? In the same room.
They're like, sorry, buddy. Yeah, and they all shake hands.
But I will convey the impression that this is the actual crew and highly confident.
You will convey the impression.
I'll fry his brain. So I'm just going off for a long wee.
But they do ask for like places to stow their stuff before
yeah, that's fine.
That kind of thing. Yeah. Are we just gonna, like when we had the mercs and stuff on right at the beginning of this book? Are we just going to give them a space in the cargo hold? We're going to give them.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Personal.
The stewarding bit and show them around the ship and places where they can tie stuff down and bunks and.
Okay.
Because there's so many of them, if they're staying for long, they're probably going to have to share a room. But
absolutely, yeah.
They will get individual freezers.
Well, we have a few stasis coffins. Sorry, stasis hugs.
But there's only one that's painted in the colours of an aubergine.
The branded.
We won that, clearly.
Yeah. When you are showing them the stasis like area, Kirsch is like, "Are you using this room?" Okay. Can you use the next 5 coffins, please?
Yes, we'll use the next 5. That's not a problem, Kirsch. Didn't like these 5 anyway. Still got a little bit of a hint of Legion to them, so
yes.
Let's go next door.
Okay, thank you. And shuts the door behind, like, that
curiosity.
that kind of thank you. Shuts the door, like Boop, boop, boop. Bye.
I gotta go check the internal security cameras.
You don't know this has happened though, really. Only Shinaz
Oh,
does.
true. Yeah, true.
Because I was a bit
true,
like
true.
mad curiosity, but Cecile
That's
doesn't
fair.
even know this has happened.
So yeah, Kirsch closes the room behind her, and does indeed lock it, like beep beep beep, and leaves like the opposite way quickly. You show them to this room, stasis pods there, place to stow like like a locker, and they immediately they're used to getting into stasis, and like they must do this quite often, and they're bottle of water, this kind of stuff, kind of thing. They're already doing the colonial marine style shit talking to each other as they get ready, because they're
And that was Kirsch, another member of the crew.
they're all like, you Silsila mentioned you had some interesting folks. It's deep cover, right? It's all to be expected.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good. Yeah. Interesting. And Yoons is like, all right, lads, into the bed. The sooner we get this done, the sooner we can get back to aubergines and ice cream or whatever. Unless you want to keep them up, unless there's anything you want to like.
Just find out what their coffee preferences are for when they wake up. You know, the Americanos or lattes kind of people.
That's how they know we're highly ranked
In the colonial marine.
We have a
colonial
space
agent.
Tassimo.
We do. We even have the rare flavors. I don't know. That'll be like pecan latte or something.
The soy milk versions.
Ooh.
Mm.
Ambassador.
Oh, Shanaz, you are spoiling us. So they get into stasis, and they will go into stasis before even leaving. Yoons is the last one in, and he probably comes and finds Silsila, and he's like,
Cockpit.
yeah, he leaves his four guys in stasis. He heads up to see you, already in like his underpants,
Lovely pajamas.
whatever. He's like, okay, so he checks his watch and it's like 12 minutes until our ship begins its portal run. Is there anything else you want from us before we go in?
No, we'll wake you up on the other side, and then we'll see what the plan is once we figure out what's going on with the ambassador.
Okay, good. He gives you little like tabula. Maybe he doesn't give you the tabula. Maybe he just sort of like taps over some information, some need to know stuff to you. And he's like, okay, may the icons bless our journey.
I will join him in a short prayer for the deckhand. Really, I want the gambler, but I don't want to worry him, so I'll pick the deckhand instead.
Okay. Do you go to your chapel and do that? Are you doing like a proper prayer to the deckhand? Or are you just doing a...
Yes, I think so, yes.
Okay.
I'll offer some leadershiply reassurance, which is probably unusual for Silsila. I rather imagine he's just mostly been just revving the engine every 4 seconds. Just so it looks like some kind of regular power fluctuation.
Okay. In case the pariah are scanning you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And you just like, okay, press transfers controls to the Patilla. He's like, it's scheduled for this. You can abort or a delay with these buttons. But once it's gone, once it's started firing, it's too big a ship to kind of dial back, and it's not a maneuverable part. Then he finishes prayer and heads to the stasis coffins.
I walk back to the cockpit wondering whether I should steer it into prior ships instead, but we'll see how that goes.
Change all the information they've done already.
Well, I mean, if I can pilot it remotely, I don't need to change anything.
It's not pilot remoting. It's they've put you executing or delaying the plan, delaying the program, if you will.
Fair enough then.
Or cancelling it. If you suddenly abort, end it. That's about all you've got.
Okay. So, any last minute thoughts or alterations from Yusuf or Shanaz?
Going for
No.
bed.
Yep.
All right then.
Ah.
Settle in.
Okay, so you take.
We have told Kirsch and Nadia what we're doing as well. Just in
Yeah.
case.
Kirsch and Nadia, like Nadia's programmed the
Yeah, that's
journey,
true,
and
yeah.
Kirsch is like, okay, sure, I don't care. Fix the ship.
Just hope these guys don't try and like take over the ship or something while we're all asleep.
But these guys, I'm going to assume you mean whatever Kirsch is hidden. I wake up and there's 4,000 tribbles.
Don't worry about Kirsch. I'm sure that Kirsch is perfectly responsible enough to look after anything that they've done and other priorities right now. However, if there are 4,000 tribbles when we wake up, they're also going to be space mad and possibly mutated.
Carry on up the capybara when we.
Carry on with capybara. You have 2 stats: carry on and capybara. So yeah, you take, because Silsila still has to like set the piloting and that kind of stuff. Are you just gonna do it all via autopilot, or are you gonna do it like fly to the portal and then a mad rush to get back into stasis before you breach the portal?
Because there's too many variables about what the prize is.
Okay.
So I will set my thing ready to go and jump into.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, let's go.
Make a observation roll.
All right then. I have no dice for that, so I get my 4 from wits. Oh yeah, I got 1 success.
As you're going down the lists of stuff, you read, like, normally Silsila, you are the first person to be woken up after portal jump. Everybody doesn't wake up at the same time, because if you're still in portal space,
yeah, only one person gets to go mad at once. One would orderly keep.
And that person is the one who could set them back on their right track. You notice that you are not the first person to be automatically woken up from cryo. It's Kirsch. And then you. Kirsch is fast asleep right now.
Like
I'm gonna leave
45 minutes later or something.
Yeah, it's not a massive thing. It's just, Kirsch has got a head start on whatever she's up
Kirsch
to.
has earned a lot of trust, so I'll leave it. I'll make a mental note of it, and I'll send a message to Shanaz and Yusuf so they know.
Okay, so you just leave like on the voicemail on the
Yeah,
the data
I just send a
pads.
picture of it on our internal chat.
Okay. But they're all asleep, so they don't know. So what happens? Like, from the external view, as we're looking across this sort of parked flotilla outside of portal space, what is the what would we see? Would we see Yoon's ship begin to move slowly?
So I think I would have programmed it to just start like slowly drifting at first, and then just the engines blast into life. And I would definitely have got them to do it so it does like a curve, so it looks like it's going to go over there, but then just sort of rolls.
Oh, and then it hits.
And like heads at full burn for the portal.
Okay.
And then I will
Listing lazily to the left.
I will just smash those coordinates out to everybody.
Okay. Wide broadcast.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
And which coordinates are you sending out?
All of them.
All 3 of them.
Yeah. So I guess one will be freighter size ship to
Where you want to go.
That one's going, and then the smaller ship to
The same place.
Zelos and the other place.
Okay.
I'm assuming most people are not going to go to Zelos because they're just going to find more prior that are already angry at them.
Well, Zalos is the next step to Mira, so if they're thinking like they could,
Yeah, if they think they can do. I mean, that's
Make
the
the
title
mirror
to every
chain.
single other ship.
but right now it's blockaded and you can't.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna hoon it basically.
Okay.
Just fast as we can, following the calculations that Adia set. And then I will tell the computer to tell me when I need to like run and jump into my stasis.
Cool. So we sit.
And also, if we've got external cameras, I'm gonna set them to record so we can watch this shit afterwards.
All right. So you beep. On the little screen, then the little like capture, as it watches down along this run of ships, all different sizes of ships. Some little like three groups of ships that are clearly just 2 or 3 folks in Like they've arrived as a small flotilla, so they're parked as a small flotilla. Almost each section is quarantined, kind of thing. We see this big kind of freighter that Yoons and his crew had begin to drift. And you see other ships kind of adjusting because they don't want to be bumped into. There is a wide broadcast, like a wide message that comes across everybody's thing, and it must be like the pariahs must be using like the emergency channels or that kind of stuff to make sure everybody gets it. And it is pilots are reminded they must stay within their designated zones. Deviations from these assigned flight plans will result in aggressive retaliation. And that kind of goes out like it's no nonsense kind of noise from the pariahs. But obviously there's nobody on board Yoon's ship, and it's on a predetermined set of plans. It then, it clearly fires up and moves out, in which you see a couple of the smaller pariah ships like light up, and then as they light up, Yoon's ship just sort of like, hit it, Chewie, kind of begins to fly towards the stuff. At what point in this in this cinematic moment do we see the engines and everything from the queue that light up? And
so I guess maybe 10 seconds after the freighter does it, I'm going left, but suddenly I'm jinking right.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's supposed to drag everybody over there, we just hoon it over this way.
Hoon it. Okay. It's very, very UK
I don't think
word.
it's with all the warships. I mean, they're going to spot us if we try and stealth, I think. They did last time as well. So let's just smash those afterburners and off we go.
Okay. So I would like you to make a piloting roll.
Okay. This is the bit where it all goes wrong. I am quite good at
You
piloting.
should be good at piloting.
Is there a pilot feat or not, by the way?
I haven't looked.
Okay.
Before you do, may I command Silsila to not fuck it up?
If you were not
No.
asleep, then you could have.
Ah,
Are we all asleep?
Yeah, that's what we said, wasn't it?
we did. It's
Oh,
true.
true.
We did
Yeah,
say we were
true.
going to
Yeah,
bed.
sorry. Yep.
Just
Should have thought of
Silsila.
that.
It's more these probably command not to.
Could I have given him had an hour to make him a little lucky talisman?
Yeah,
I
you
have one.
definitely
You
have.
gave me
You
one.
have given him a talisman, yes.
Oh, I have already. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm
Yeah.
fully
Sorry.
intending. Do I have
Yep.
to use that before I see the rest of the dice, or what?
You have
Yeah,
to
you
include
just
it in your
have to.
dice roll, so you can include it in this roll or your push, should you need it.
Okay. Well,
But you don't. The only time you know is if you're going to use it to push.
Alright, so I actually have your talisman, my own starting. I'll use yours first.
They are single use.
Yeah.
I
Um,
understand.
right, so
Got to squeeze the
piloting,
juice out.
That's 9 dice. So
9 dice is good.
9 dice. Bloody hell.
Not a
I
Shanaz manipulation
Harvey
roll,
was
but it's
thinking he was the best pilot ever.
it's
Right.
9 dice.
Yeah.
Thread the needle.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
stop.
okay, I'm rocking this. I've got one more dice to roll, and that's well, 3 successes.
Okay, excellent.
Yes.
So-
I was rather worried that I just rolled none, and then be
Boom.
like, oh well.
Oh, well,
Obviously, I push it.
we're prisoners now.
Oh, that's the good option, isn't it?
All right, so we watch as this ship drifts one way, and maybe it was like yawing or something, like it was only partially, and just pushing its engines to get a good angle, like its bum goes down and its nose goes up, kind of situation as it drifts. It then does this over the same channel the pariahs have been receiving. There's this wide broadcast and just data streams down and variables calculations, this kind of stuff, which would be 1,000,000 times better than blind jumping and that kind of stuff. So if folks haven't already got their own portal calculations based on this time now, planets and locations and astral bodies and weights and that kind of stuff, they can plug in some of these variables and maybe make a better than blind jump to wherever they're going, to which we see maybe 2 or 3 things immediately flash up. Pariah ships immediately start trying to head over towards Yoon's ship. There is communications kind of screeching as the monastery cruisers are essentially trying to block comms and that kind of stuff. And just at the right moment, like the poor little Kudapatil has just been sat there silently, just staying in its little holding spot. Suddenly it just goes boom, boosh, as fast as it can towards the portal. Like nobody expected the Kudapatilla in its Inquisition cassock. Zoom towards the portal gate. So 2 more rolls for Silsila. 1, it's the piloting through the portal check. We have successful. I need to get the book out for this because there are things to consider.
Ooh.
Portal jump.
I love it when Millie has to go to the book. It's like
The rules for the portal jump.
some weird shit's gonna happen.
This could be just as great as when I played Coriolis with the patrons and they failed this roll and went 50 years into the future.
Sounds awesome.
Just a completely different story.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
So I both love and hate this roll.
It's the kind of thing that sounds really cool, but in practice, it's like it completely fucks your whole game. It's like,
It is. They
Very
will
much
die,
could.
isn't it, to a degree, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there is the version where you get sprayed out the other portal as just radiation.
Mhm.
Enjoy completing this campaign in the form of hard radiation falling out of a space hole.
Okay.
Stop going on about your space hole.
So there is safety in numbers, and we don't have numbers, so we are -1 for a single ship jump. We have portal calculations. Adia completed that, so that's fine. Our ship is cursed though, which means we're at -1 for that, so that's -2.
I had forgotten about the curse. Does praying help?
Praying doesn't help, but you have a chapel on board, which is +1.
Okay.
If you had an anointed priest of the icons, that's even better. So
We have one of those, but we put him down somewhere.
Maybe that was why. They hired Carvus. Like, you're a priest, get on our ship, it's cursed. But yeah. So what did we have?
We're at -1
Solo,
currently.
cursed, chapel, no bonus because we just scraped our thingy roll. So yeah, so we're just at -1. You're right, Ben. Yeah.
Okay, and I'm going to use my own talisman free after this. Yep. But I do have.
You're going to have to remind me about the command thing because I completely forget to use it all the time. I'm so used to looking for opportunities to manipulate people that I forget that command can give you extra dice to do stuff with.
And if they...
Oh, Silsila. This is 4 successes. I know, yeah. I'm very surprised.
Nice.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah. I actually had a couple of 5s as well, so yeah. Maybe I am the best pilot ever. I'll set it on the other side of the portal, not this
Wow. All right. So
side. Just go to sleep muttering it. And
everything trajectory is right. The computer is ready to execute every sort of minimal adjustment and whatever was needed done. Contingencies are in place for whatever may be in terms of this. And now I need, because we're leaving it to like the last moment. You want to make sure nothing gets in our way. Now I need, what would it be? Movement?
Dexterity.
Dexterity
I
roll.
was waiting for this.
Dexterity roll to roll in your pants back to cryo or stasis coffin.
Okay. Luckily, I've got an agility of 5 and 1 in dexterity. So I at least get to roll some dice for this.
Like, there must be a section of like piloting school that is bolting through your ship before portal jumping. Like, it must be a thing.
Oh, we are good. We have got 2 successes. First thing I saw was 2 1s. I was like, I forgot we're not playing aliens, so we're okay.
Yeah,
But yeah, I have 2 successes, so
Okay.
feel like Silsilla should level up just from this shit. I never roll success. What, shooting people, really good at shooting people.
This is all you're gonna do. This is all your successes now. You've done you have 4 and 2, a couple before. That's it.
The very first time we tried this, prior she was there, I failed the roll and I failed the re-roll and I failed the next time we did it as well. That was why I don't think we landed very well on the moon.
No, we almost crashed. Crashed the ship a bit. All right, so it's there, and there's maybe like a kilometer between the front of the ship and the portal. Silsilla like leaps over, power slides around a corner, dives, combat rolls. It looks super cool, but nobody's awake to see it. Cameras, and then there's a glitch as you transition through the portal.
Yeah.
You get in the coffin, pull the lid shut. You see the stuff kind of stream through and then you go to sleep, and that kind of stuff. So you you pass out, sleep. I don't know. Portal jump. We don't know what happens because we're asleep, and it's almost. Like, I think the jumps only take like hours rather than days. Like, I think it is a jump in short time, not a long time. Cool. Yeah. So we jump after a short while. Silsilla. You realize, like, beep 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 beep, that kind of stuff. There is a stream of information coming down on the display of the coffin, like the heads up display. It's showing that you have arrived in the Arai system. Nothing went awry. You are in Arai.
Space Ariador.
Mm-hmm. I have to remind myself what's in Arai.
Complete lack of pariah, really friendly natives.
So.
Giant bag of money floating in space.
With a big radar tag, so you don't fly through it.
Oh yeah, big bag of money. So yeah, your heads up display comes up. You've got the release to escape. Kind of thing. It's asking you for like give a bunch of approvals that normally go through, like is it okay to begin this protocol? Is it
like to wake this person up?
Not necessarily wake this person up, but is it okay to begin like permission, like flight check stuff? Going to run this thing, this kind of stuff. This is the details from this. Would you like us to do this or not? Kind of thing. Just operational ship things. Not anything more sort of sinister.
Sure. Everything looked normal though, yeah?
Yeah, nothing looked beyond sort of weird.
Okay. I guess before I wake the Shanaz and up, I'll ask the ship's computer where Kirsch is.
The computer doesn't have like an AI, a djinn in it.
Oh, okay. So you can't tell me that.
So it doesn't do like that sort of tracking of individuals. Like you can upgrade to get a nice little djinn if you want.
You're not paying for a revolution. I think you can do. I would just use the cameras then.
But it shows you like it shows you cameras of 3 beds down with Kirsch in a stasis pod.
Very sneaky. All right then. I'm gonna wake up the whole of my crew, including Adia and Kirsch, and Yunes them.
Just Yunes, not the rest of his crew.
Yeah, I'll let him decide if he wants to wake them up.
Okay.
And of course, I'll stick that space Tassimo on and get myself a pecan latte.
Pecan latte.
In fact, while nobody's looking, I'm going to put 2 pods into one cup. I know, but you're still asleep.
You what?
I know.
4 espressos in
I
one
feel a
cup
disturbance in my sleep.
in your caffeine force.
No, I have like something like a nut vanilla double shot. I'll use 2 of the cool flavors.
You'll use a bunch of Tassimo pods and hide them in the recycling.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'll go to the cockpit.
In Kirsch's part of the kitchen, which is vacuum sealed, so none of the rest of us have to look in there.
Okay. So, cool.
Because I'm guessing now we're moving more into Shinazi's area, or perhaps even Yusuf's area of sneaky ways to find people. I've driven the bus. We're here.
Right, so yeah, you head off. You head off and you go and sort of set up your brew. The wake up cycle kicks in for everybody you nominated it. You get a contact from the portal station, which is like, congratulations on your safe jump. Here is, and it does a data dump of stuff, kind of thing. That kind of stuff, and also there's potentially like a level of you give it updated data because you come from like a bunch of systems away. So there's like,
did anyone else make it through?
Behind you, no, there's nobody else has used the gate for a while. The portal station also, like, you have a message from like the station operator, I guess, like the head of operations there, asking for a meeting or a call where they can discuss about some stuff.
Okay, we'll definitely do
that. But they also, they're used to folks coming out of jumps and being edgy. You also notice there are a lot of they're not colonial agents, the PMC style ships around here. A lot of them sort of in a hold, like on par with the portal station. And they are all like their call signs are all like Portal 3, Portal Red, Portal.
Okay, so I was going to say, are they defending it or are they captured?
Their call signs are all in league with the portal.
The pariah wouldn't necessarily try to hide it. They'd be quite proudly saying we're in charge here.
Yeah.
No, I was wondering if the PMCs had decided to take something valuable, like the portal station.
A distinct possibility.
Yeah, it's up to you whether you think Silsil has enough like military background to assess the like defense posture of them.
I mean, like looking at the information you've got on like, your tabula as you're pouring this double shot, triple nut kind of thing from your space Tassimo. As you sort of look over that and the kind of thing, they are in a defensive position around the portal. Their call signs are all red, portal red, portal 1, portal. So you can't tell whether their relationship with the portal station is aggressive or supportive, but you can tell, like, anybody coming out of portal awake enough to try and cause damage to the portal would be toast.
Okay, that seems good, to be fair.
Yeah, so they're at least defensive of the station, kind of thing.
Okay, so they're not outright pirates then. So
I mean, they're not Corsair ships. They definitely don't have that sort of style. And Corsairs, they might be pirates. They might be pirates, but they are very professional-looking pilots.
Okay, that's fine.
Like, Corsair fleets are typically very, very, like, eclectic and also fitted out with whatever they can.
Yeah.
You can tell a Corsair sort of fleet.
Okay, as soon as Adir is awake, I'll ask them to plot the next portal jump.
Okay.
Or at least just one away from here, just in case it does all go wrong with these guys. And then I guess it's powwow time with Yusuf, Shinaz. I thought it's a darkness point.
That was because you cursed ship.
What?
Your ship is cursed.
And for Yusuf and Shinaz. I forgot to look at the data. Never mind.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'll do that while.
I mean, to be honest, I don't know that our ship is cursed. So,
well, I'll quickly look at the data that he sent while he's having his wake up and his coffee.
Okay. So while everybody's going through the wake cycles, you've got maybe 15 minutes of like quiet, and you can just hear the hum of the engines as it sort of moves into whatever sort of holding spot you've picked for it, and the portal station is assigned. Their mission is in the Sadal system, which is the next one over from here.
Okay, that's where I'll send them.
Yeah, so you've got Sadal. They were supposed to meet with so Ambassador Kai, Destron Kai, who sits on the Coriolis Council, nobody knew that they'd left, but they have not made their diplomatic ship and their small, crew have not returned at the time that they should have. They've had no check-ins, and bearing in mind this is like 3 jumps from Coriolis, so the check-ins would have took a while to get from there and back, or even sending a courier ship, like a 2-person fast ship, just pew 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 to ferry information back and forth. They haven't been. Their mission is unfortunately classified, but they were to meet on Sadal on a they were to meet on Sadal on a conference station in that system, and all that Yoons has got is go to Sadal, find Ambassador Kai, extract him alive, or bring back proof of death. Like bring back the ambassador alive, or bring something back to prove that he's been killed there.
But I mean, our skill set is basically wing it with no plans. We're on to a good.
I mean, this wouldn't, like, in terms of Silsila's kind of mission profiles, this is exactly what you see Yoons as being set up for.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not this far away from Coriolis. It is very much like wing it and see what you
got
do.
To be self-reliant, got a nice range of skills, and you don't know all the info before you.
Yeah, you're not going to get told of it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's find the ambassador, extract or collect proof of death, and they're not interested. Like, there is no like investigate and find who has done it. It's like, bring him home. If you can't bring him home, bring some of him home, or a video that shows him dying,
scrape him up and bring it back.
Yeah, something that we can prove, like even just a fingernail that'll evidence or that kind of stuff.
I think we should all have call signs. Like Shinaz can be Alchemars. I guess that makes use of Algol.
No.
Algol 1, I'll play Algol 2 because we're from the same place.
Surely that makes Shinaz the Baron.
Well, I was just picking something.
If you're going to name us after restaurants on
Coriolis,
I could be Alchemars, and I guess Pete'd have to be Shawarma Shake.
What was that weird gaff we went to with a horrible miso soup? That was the characters.
What was the one that you found earlier, Millie? You had one as well.
What did we have? We had I know I need to look through the thing. Hada, what is it? Hadha Makan, and then
Yeah, Hadar Al Makan. That could be Graham. And then
And
Shawarma
then-
Shake.
I want to be
Shawarma
Apple.
no,
Shake.
where is it?
I
Shawarma
tried.
Shake.
I tried to look at what
Cam's Shabab.
Arby's.
Cam's Shabab.
I tried to look at what Arby's would be, and I just looked up the Arabic for arbiter, kind of pushed it.
Arbiter.
The Arby's isn't a real word.
You can't just translate a word and
I just
think
wanted an
Arby's
approximation.
in Arabic is Arby's.
It probably is, to be fair. Yes, it's a brand name. All right, then I'll go with what Ben said.
All right, so we come up with some call signs of varying qualities of restaurants on Coriolis.
Oh my God, I wasn't serious. Oh no.
You said something
It's
near.
absolutely canon now, I'm afraid.
Kirsch
Sorry,
is like
Alchemize.
Kirsch-
Oh shit! Yeah, what does Kirsch want to be?
Kebabio. Is Addy is like, I'm not getting involved in this ridiculous call sign stuff.
Capybara Cabin.
Addy is now the library.
Addy is, I'm not getting involved in this ridiculous restaurant call sign. What's wrong with my name?
It rather lets the prior find you. The downside of it.
They shrug. Like, ugh, doesn't matter. But yeah, everybody wakes. Kirsch comes in, gets a drink, coffee, heads off. Goes to going to check engines after portal jump. Yes, okay, yes. Bye.
Yeah, I guess there's a significant look between us, as I've told you that you got up before.
Got up and went back to bed.
Yeah,
That's
very
the best bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, she
Yeah,
comes
she
in,
had something in stasis too.
turns around, heads
What?
off.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Do we want to know?
I'm sure if we want to know, we could find out. Do we need to know is a more important question.
I'm just not sure that they have the same understanding of biological contaminants or
Agreed.
quarantine rules.
But I do
or-
feel that Kirsch wouldn't deliberately contaminate
Oh.
the ship.
No, sure. But what if we go into certain docks? Bar standards are very different, not wrong, or right, or worse, or better.
I
but
recall the
different
difficulty we
from-
had with the lizard.
I didn't realise it was our fault though. Didn't we pick up the?
No.
No.
Kirsch was like, I have lizard now.
We left Kirsch unsupervised
Ah.
on a spaceship.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Then.
So technically still our fault, but less so.
Okay.
Anyway, what have we got? What do we need? I've done the coffee run for all of the new folk, got them the coffees that they wanted in the exact order and strength.
I will turn it over to Yoons for a mission briefing then. I'll be back in 2.
Oh, okay. So Yoons sits there and is like, oh well, okay, so we're supposed to we need to get to Sadal and the Sadal system. VIP was to have a number of meetings in a diplomatic station in Sadal. Failed to check in. We are, and he looks at his tabula. We are 15 days past check-in, and so the mission has become rescue or rescue, extraction, or proof of death.
Well, straight away we can know that based on the portal situation back in Iwaz, that nobody's getting through that way. Anybody who's tried to get through that way is being stopped by the pariah fleet. So either the VIP made it through the portal at Iwaz and has been detained by the pariah, or didn't make it through the portal to Iwaz, in which case we'll be able to find some information on the portal station here. They're quite keen to speak to us, I imagine, because we are probably the first ship they've seen in a few weeks coming through from this direction. So we can certainly...
Yeah, how long have they been blocking it?
Oh, well, we were there for 2 weeks. We were just behind a big extraction flotilla. The colonial agency sent a load of folks to bring out
Right.
everybody who was being
The
expelled.
normal people who were there, who were being persecuted by the weirdo pariahs.
Yes, so there was a load of folks and merchants and like the last wave of people out, which I think is should have been back at Coriolis or their home systems by now. But we just didn't manage to get on that flotilla. We got through.
Okay, so we've got at least 2 weeks.
Yeah, we got through to Iwas, but then they were just holding everybody.
Right, so you say the VIP is 15 days late. 15 days late is when subtracted from 14 days. No, because a Coriolis week is longer, isn't it?
9 days.
9 days. So they've actually been missing for less than the time you've taken waiting.
But they haven't checked in.
But they haven't checked in. Although maybe they have checked in as far as the portal station and then nothing's gone beyond here. So we can certainly investigate that to start off with. Before we go in guns blazing, I'm sure you could appreciate that subtlety is often the best policy when it comes to extraction of high-value targets like this.
And he nods. He's like, yes, ma'am.
And what situation had they gone into? What were we extracting them from?
Well, we don't know. He was there to diplomat. Drugs like above what we would.
Above your pay grade.
Yeah.
Is that what someone said to you? It's above your pay grade.
Above my clearance. I mean, I just hold hands and bring people
Above your
home.
clearance. So this guy was on some top secret mission to Sadal.
Well,
yes.
Or sometimes it's just meeting Sadal because it's fairly neutral territory, or halfway between those two places, or
it's possible he's trying to broker some kind of peace arrangement and it may have gone south. Did he have a protective detail?
Or form an alliance for a battle?
That too. Did he have a protective detail?
Yeah, and he flicks through the tabula, standard sort of diplomatic loadout, including a courier and a defense point and a personal security detail.
But nothing specialized on record that you're aware of?
Nothing suggesting it would need like a Legion escort or anything like that.
Which sort of betokens the idea that he may well have felt safe going wherever he was going, which is a good sign. I suggest we make fall at the portal station, see if we can gather any intelligence here before we move on to Sadal. And when we get to Sadal, we do the same thing there.
What's I don't. You have to excuse me. I'm not as widely travelled as some of you. What's Sadal like? Is it full of crazy people?
Yoons laughs. Isn't everywhere?
Everybody goes
That's what
for
I'm finding out. That's what I'm finding out. Cults and weird shit everywhere.
But just like nudges. And then I look at Yoons and go.
It's a first come system.
Okay.
Their clergy.
Oh, they're super faithful.
Yeah, their clergy go around masked.
Sadal, they're fundies.
They tend to yeah, indeed. They tend to
I know, I'm looking at the book.
Oh, okay. Yeah. They tend to
But Yusuf doesn't know anything about it.
They have like a restrict, so the way like Russia and China restrict news coming in and restrict website and that kind of, they do that in Sadal.
Well,
right.
never heard of
Why not?
Spider, then.
They do a lot of that. So you're like, whereas the portal station here would have taken a data dump off the Kudapatilla or whoever comes through to update with like bulletin information and that kind of thing.
Man, that sounds completely crazy.
Sadal won't.
Oh God! They've got religious police. They've got bureaucracy. Oh no!
All things to exploit, though. Fine.
I think
there'll be a vast black market.
Yes,
underground that you can tap into.
Have all that Shanaz memorabilia.
Decadence is your middle name, right?
Um,
I say with a little grin on my face.
Although on this place it's decadent, isn't
I
it?
don't.
We'll be safer on Baram
Go
than we
decadence.
would
No, don't.
on Sadal itself.
Yeah, Yoons is like, yeah, we have contacts and stuff in the shipyards out there. We could probably get another ship to head out of town fast if we need to. But we just have and they have deck plans and floor plans of like a little not like Caladorina, but a similar style thing, like a private satellite station that is just, where you could easily meet the Cylons once every blue moon, or that kind of thing. But yeah, just this station that they can meet on. It's got a couple of suites for different people, like in different sides of the building. It's got a big meeting room. It's got a couple of docks on each side of the station, kind of thing. So folks don't have to meet with each other, and there's a location, and it's it's sort of like.
If he's there, we could be better off. If they've taken him down to the planet, extraction will be that much harder.
And Yoons is like, I hate planet extractions. They're always go messy. And he looks at like Silsilla to be like, yeah, that kind of.
And I go, yeah.
I just grin at him.
Yeah.
To say, I don't think so, buddy.
It's not a problem. We've
What
done
about
it
that
before.
landslide, Silsilla? That was pretty.
We've done it before. We can do it again if it
True.
needs to be done. We're
This
more
one's
than
not gonna be in
capable
an
of.
underground cave.
But let's not decide that this is a mountain until we discover that it is.
Hmm.
So I would suggest a short stop over at the portal station here while we run the numbers. We may even be able to get them to do the portal jump for free.
And they may have some, although, like, if news doesn't really get into Sadal very easily, I'm sure people are like watching and seeing what's going on. So this portal gate, they might have some news about Sadal and what's going on there.
Yeah, and we've got tales to share as well. So, and nobody else has come through the portal after us.
No one's come after you now.
It's quite disappointing.
But nobody's gone the other way either.
No, it means that none of the people that ran with us got away, or they all went the other way to Zelos.
At least they didn't get this way. Maybe they went to Mirror, which we still need to get to.
Yeah, you can't get to Miro without going through Zelos.
No.
Okay, no worries then.
Well, you can, but not safely.
Yeah, not safely. Okay, so
I'm saving it for when I have to dare Silsilla to do that blind jump across the gap.
Just vaguely suggest it, and he's there.
like what? Just run a portal with no destination?
No, have a destination. I was just thinking.
Oh, like an extended jump, kind of.
No, we've got to jump into the atmosphere and then jump back out again.
All of
Oh, no, sorry, Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
So.
Ziban to Tarazug or Erai to Zib.
I'm assuming
no.
that is across two loops without going round
Ju-
the loop.
Just a little bit of void.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah. Big horrible jumps. Not. Okay.
Let me know when you game. And
I mean, it can't be any worse than going back through I was.
Well, yeah. There's a question of how you're going to get home after this.
Yeah.
in a blaze
we're
of
gonna
glory,
have to-
naturally.
Yeah. Run the blockade.
So Yoons is like, look, you want me to talk to the portal station? I've got trade to cover, but your ship won't match up with the credentials I've got. That's all fine if you want me to, though. If you don't need
Oh,
me,
darling, we don't need you to do that.
like, and he looks again at Silsilla in a like.
Oh, so, mate, we have it. You and your crew, just relax, chill out. When it's go
We've all got our
time,
special skills. Don't worry.
And
You are but humble merchants seeking passage on our vessel on the way for the time being.
he's like, he nods, like, no sense of like bruised ego or anything. He's like, cool. and he heads down to wherever it was you let him and his crew store stuff.
Yeah, I think Cecile would know full well that it's somebody else saying, "I'm in charge. Go and chill." Be like, "Great, see you later."
Yeah, he's like,
no worries.
excellent. He probably takes, like, if there's biscuits or food, rations or anything around, he scoops up a couple of them, gets a couple of to-go bags, drinks even. Drink delivery from Mr. Hughes. Thank you very much, sir. So Yoon scoops this up, heads down to the cargo bay, and if Yusuf is being like, tabular of CCTV kind of thing, you can see him in a couple of minutes later, like, rock up, chuck some stuff around, look at the stuff that Shanaz has made with, like, on the other side of the thing. That's yours. That's yours. And they're like, and there's banter and, checks going on and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it means that they work well together and not a shitty leader. Which means they might be useful when it's time to do things.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, they you can see them bantering and whatever on the cameras.
Cool.
You notice.
Can I see into the.
If you do notice,
room.
The other stasis room's camera is now pointing like at the wall.
No, just like in the corner.
It's just been pushed over, so you can just see like up across to the wall. Like, oh, okay.
Oh no, I didn't take telekinesis. I took stop.
Oh yeah, just move the camera. Just
Yeah.
down.
Oh my god, what's that?
I hope it's dinosaurs. I hope she traded up from lizards to dinosaurs.
Clever girls on the ship. All right, so yeah, the stasis room has been moved. All the other CCTV.
That was how my players managed to save a whole bunch of boxes on last voyage of the Ghazali. They rescued some of the Nicatra and put them in stasis tubes around the mysterious cargo. So anybody that was going to open the mysterious cargo was going to get a Nicatra in the face first.
Do not recommend.
No.
Nasty.
Bad Yelp reviews. Okay. So, Ewan's goes off. He's chatting with his folks. Adia is like, unless you need me, I'm just going to go and check in on Kirsch and whatever she's doing. And Adia is like, she seems sketchy to you recently. Like, since you
she's got something going on in Stasis 2 and woke herself up before everybody else and then went back to bed again. Just let her be sneaky. I don't think she'll put anybody at risk. If she wants to share her adventure with you, great, but let's not push her. She's doing a good job.
Look, right, back on our ship. This is our ship, but when we were with before
pirates.
Look, we were salvage crew, all right. We were salvage crew. It was legitimate salvage. I don't know what you're talking about. But back there, she used to do a lot of like trading. Like she'd start with nothing and end up with like, I think we once had a horse. Like,
sounds
you
about
know
right.
what a horse is? Like they're like a beast of burden. They do like fast
furniture.
No, like a big four-legged quadruped thing, likes grass, eats apples, runs fast.
Apparently, I was worth 17 of them 8 years ago. I don't know if that's good or if it appreciates.
We only had one.
Pull stuff.
Yeah, or you can ride them and race them like Lekma lizards.
Oh right, okay.
Faster.
Yeah, and then
more elegant.
And people can ride them. Anyway, look, we went
Sounds dangerous to me.
From whatever she started with to a horse in the cargo bay once we left one planet.
Wow.
You want me to?
Is it mostly animals?
I think so. Like, I know she starts with like. One day we came down and there was no LEDs in any of the refrigerators. Like, and that's where she started from when we ended up with a horse.
Give her some money or things to trade.
No, we tried that.
That's not the point. It's
part of her thing.
It's the game, isn't it? It's the trading itself. It's the
Yeah.
Material
back and
continuum.
forth.
We should just leave things lying around every so often.
But I won't stop her if
stuff,
you don't
your
want
stuff,
me to.
right?
But also, be
keep
prepared
an
for
eye.
some weird creatures in this.
Yeah, keep an eye, and
Nothing that might piss
we
off
could always
like quarantine
invest.
rules.
in her business in future with specifics. Maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
Would she accept shareholders? Who knows?
No, you're crimping a trade there.
Mm.
But Hadia's like, I'm gonna go and check. See
Okay.
if she'll
Good
let me.
plan.
But also the ship. And she picks up they pick up their coffee and head off and take, like, I don't know, whatever it is. Kirsch drinks. Butter coffee or something, I don't know. Leaves.
Wheatgrass
Yeah.
smoothies.
Something horrible for that kind of stuff. And heads off. Having left that, like, watch Kirsch, she trade.
Okay. Are we off to visit the portal station, or we just ring you?
They've left it at your discretion. Like, they'll quite happily accept a meeting. Like, I think it'd probably be a situation like if you didn't do it via a call, then you have, like, secrets, because you would be going in person to relay secrets, and that would be exciting.
Let's do that.
I think it's an in-person thing. Yeah, they haven't seen
Let's
anybody.
go in person. They haven't seen anybody, and
more
we're looking for someone quite significant. So let's make it look like a really big deal.
Well, will be more interesting and exciting in person. Because they must video call with people quite a lot, including the ships. But strangers
Things
in
always
person,
work better in
with-
person.
Yeah, with stories. And long wheeze.
Plus, it'll be much easier to get information out of them face to face.
All right then. I guess I'll call them, ask them if they want to have lunch in an hour.
Okay, yeah, you get
An hour? No. 4 hours minimum.
Hungry now.
Then have a snack. There's no way
Can we
I'll
have
be
a
ready in
meal?
an
It's
hour.
like if it's 4 hours again, then I could eat another meal in that time. You
Fine,
know, if I just
eat a
have-
meal. You eat a
Okay,
meal.
cool.
I'll go and put on some diplomacy.
Shanaz's diplomacy dress.
No, that's a fragrance that she's
Yeah,
made.
yeah.
It's called diplomacy.
Oh.
Diplomacy from Shanaz.
It's very potent sex pheromones.
No. That's Desire by Shanaz.
Oh yes, sorry.
All right, so we arrange.
Diplomacy is friend zone, but you're hoping for.
No, it's just brunch scent.
Oh, it's bacon.
Brunch scent.
Cool.
I like that.
Different worlds. Here we come.
Eggs Benedict. I'm getting a whiff of Eggs Benedict.
Blueberries on the side.
Somewhere, someone is doing a really in-depth and political playthrough of this campaign, whereas we have
It's us.
cheese coffee.
They're not having as much fun though,
Okay,
Millie.
I guess they're not. Because I am having a lot of fun.
Who would put bacon in a perfume? What's wrong with you people?
Oh, the brunch.
great.
Brunch.
No, I said brunch. It's like sent for brunch. It's not sent for.
All right, then. Speaking of that, I guess we'll start though. We must have waffle makers by now. We're upperly mobile.
Yeah, look, you can make food. Like food is.
Hey, talk to Kirsch. You could have a waffle making
Oh
set.
shit! Yeah, she can make that out of the lights, probably.
We were gonna put the coffee machine through the plasma of the engines. You can make whatever you want to a limited degree. But if you want something really cool, we have to go back and get an inner jack.
That's cool. Then Jack's doing university things. No problems there.
Okay, so food is prepared. The portal station agrees to a meal. You suggest one, and they like sync with no, it's like 3 a.m. or something, so it'll be breakfast, like when local.
Second breakfast, Yusuf.
Awesome,
Awesome.
and that kind of stuff. You see like the PMC that's sort of floating around the portal station. They kind of like after you've made further contact and arranged these sort of things, some of them sort of reposition and move like off, sort of thing. Like the portal station is obviously not detecting any more transitions, and therefore they're sort of step down, sort of relax a bit, and go off on their sort of time. Shanaz gets dressed in her
I'm going
finest.
full Avisarala on this one.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Do that way she walks everywhere.
Fabulous
Like,
earrings.
things in front of
Yeah.
you do not exist in one walking.
A collar that starts at the elbow,
Sure is.
comes up to about here.
She's phenomenal. Oh,
And a unicorn hat.
no.
No,
Ponies.
no hat.
Everybody gets a pony. Not saying the first part of that quote. So yeah, Shanaz goes full matriarchal person of power kind of thing. In her dress. Yoons is like, all right, do you want us to just stay here? Do you want
to come?
Well, and he points to like two of the guys, and they're like, well, they're used to sort of like VIP protection details. If you want a couple of
Perfect.
big
Yes.
but heavies, we can
Please.
name them another time. But yeah, he sort of like points at them and goes, you know, they know the drills, and they both sort of give that kind of like sup, you know, chin up, sup, nods, kind of thing. If you want to present, if you want to just be like humble merchants, then I can come with you if you want.
We don't do humble.
Like you're the captain, Sil. Whatever you think is good for this mission.
Yeah, we'll take the two boys.
Okay.
Self?
He will if you want him to. But he is not like. Well, he is trained like close quarter battle protection detail
Even keeping an eye on the ship.
trained, but also that's not normally the station he fills in the role. So he normally sits and watch comms and directs kind of thing.
Yeah,
like
that's fine.
he
No
stays.
worries.
And he'll run the op is what he said. Like he
Yeah.
probably has some jargon or something for that. He'll take that position up in
Even
the
better.
bridge.
It's so nice to work with professionals.
And he laughs and looks at you. He's like, okay.
More. Yeah, that's fine. I'll show the bus driver where the break is.
Yeah. So he takes a position up on the bridge. Adia is like, I guess they come to Yusuf and they're like, how much access do you want me to let him have? He wants a profile on the ship. You want to like?
No, that's all right for now. Just keep an eye on him.
Okay.
Yeah. It'll help if we're in a fix. So
Make them trust.
just not, and I'll like not this and that, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah, don't give him like
Yeah.
coffee privileges, but do give him like.
No self-destruct code.
He could
you know.
totally have hands-free weapon control,
But
but
not
he's
coffee.
not allowed the coffee pods.
Yeah. No,
Sure.
keep them the fuck away from the coffee
Well, we
pods.
can have the Americano.
Someone's taking another peek in Americano.
Oh, I wonder who that could have been.
All right, so Adia like takes up a spot next to Yoons and starts like setting him up with a profile, you know, like administrator and that kind of stuff. Giving him a comms channel to ties in with everybody.
Make a second group chat.
Yeah. They make a second group chat. They don't want to add him into this one. They just sort of put it up and add him into
We don't want
another
them
one.
seeing the previous messages either, because like random pictures of Scylla and Yusuf drunk in charge of a truck and Kirsch with a giant lizard.
Cabbage everywhere.
Selfies with the Mine Lord.
That kind
I
of
mean,
stuff.
it's the perfect cover, but yeah. Also, I'm pretty sure
It's
we were
all
talking
an
about
elaborate
them as well.
cover.
But yeah, they set them all up, and Kirsch checks in. Probably briefly is like, engine works, still goes fast. We'll need refuel. Maybe two more jumps. Not enough to do more than 2 jumps. And then she sort of was like, I could do 3, but would be so. But 2 more jumps, 3 more jumps, 2 more jumps. Like bartering with herself sort of moment. Also, Also, coffee machine is low. Okay, bye. Goes back into the engine room or the that kind of stuff. But she gives a detailed update on like systems and stuff. But yeah, 2 more jumps before you need to dock with a station to refuel and so on and so forth.
Replenish the coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how do you want to do this, boys? I figure I'll go in posing as, well, not posing as, I'll go in as me en route to a meeting with the ambassador. Give myself a certain degree of authority through that.
Is it worth not naming the ambassador until accidentally dropping the name a bit later?
All right, that can be
That's,
done. I'm en route to a high-level meeting with an important, very important person. That way they might tell me who else is a very important person who's in the area as well.
Yeah.
Oh, do you mean this person? Oh, no,
No, I didn't.
No.
But tell me all about them now instead.
Yeah. And obviously we're horrified by the blockade.
Yes, shocked. Just blessed that we have such a competent captain.
Makes us actually a little
Millie,
bit sad.
now that
no one
everyone's
else
been
got through.
talking about this person, I assume we've seen pictures now
Yeah.
of this person, what they look like.
What, the captain? It's Scylla I'm talking about.
No, Dessa and Kai.
Yeah, ambassador. Can I use my clairvoyant power?
Ooh. Yes. Read.
You
really
get
worried
visions
we're gonna get
of
to
where an
single
object
figures.
or a person can be. Yeah, exactly, Graham. Don't want to get it too low. You get visions of where an object or a person can be found. The GM decides what form the visions take. But as a rule of thumb, an object you once owned is easier to locate than an object only described to you. So it was probably hard, and I'm no doubt gonna have to make a roll. But I thought it might be. I'll give it a go because I haven't used it yet, and we're trying to find someone. I've got a power that helps me find things. So
yeah, good plan.
Like,
oh well, in that case,
you're gonna command me to not fuck it up.
I'm not going to command you to do that because I don't know you could do that. But I am going to
yeah.
command you to do what you can to locate the ambassador using your sources. By which, of course, I probably mean
hack
talk
the
to
network.
peasants.
And suddenly, I do a really long way. Yeah. Should I make a Mystic Powers roll?
Yes, you need to make a Mystic Powers roll.
With 2 bonus successes.
Ooh, nice.
Is that 2 more dice?
Ooh.
Or does it add successes?
I believe it adds successes because it just transfers the successes from me to you.
Wow.
Oh, unless it only transfers one of the 2 successes I got because it costs me 1 to make the roll.
Costs you 1, like you need at least 1 for success.
Okay, so I get 1 success.
There you go. So you get 1 bonus success.
If you get successes, you have an extra 1 for free.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Right. Here we go. I have successes. I have a success, so I now have 2 successes.
All right. So. Okay.
As you say that to me, I probably all the things probably like slot together and like in my head like visions occur.
Okay. Please provide me 2d6.
Oh. Together or
It's all right.
separately?
I was talking to.
Sorry. I thought. Sorry.
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought it meant roll 2d6.
Well, you could roll 2d6 if you want.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Deciding your own fate without knowing what the outcome means is a funny roll to make.
That's cool.
Okay. So it's odd, right? Yusuf is there and he's doing like he's trying to find if there is maybe some deckhands or stevedores in the portal station. It's not a very big station, but they must have some sort of folks manually operating the station.
Hardworking
labor,
people.
that kind of stuff. So he's trying to find out like if there is a sub forum or a comms channel for that kind of thing.
Or the
and-
best bar they hang out at, that
yeah,
kind of
if
stuff.
if in the in one of the small moons or planets nearby, is there a place, that kind of stuff. And there's a moment where like your vision sort of blares and you have like a similar sort of view, except that it's very much not your hands, and you can see this person has like tattoos along the backs of their hands where Yusuf wouldn't, and that sort of stuff. And as you sort of like maybe blink a bit, you look around and you can see that it's not your bridge. It's a very different bridge. It's a very old and ornate looking bridge. And across the way, there is somebody in very old traditional dress. And you realize after a moment, like, it's a nomad. Like, these folks who just travel around the horizon, the nomads. And you're looking at a nomad bridge, and the person who you're sort of looking through looks up to the person in the command sort of console and says, "Captain, there is a life pod. It's and he says a distance, like a fair off, like at sublight speeds it'd probably take a day or so to get to. Like he says that kind of stuff. The lifeblood, it's got a Coriolis diplomat's credentials on it. Do we engage? Do we collect, or do we leave them to?" And the captain like looks across at somebody else, and there's like clearly this is like a family sort of kind of thing. There's another person across the bridge, again in like full sort of like traditional veiled and head capped kind of garb. And this other person is like, "Sometimes they have good bounties. We could collect something for that." And then like the captain is like, "Yes, but it's Coriolis. We'll obviously get involved in politics." Like the intonation and like word around politics could also be like, it's like the dirty kind of thing. Like, we get involved in politics, and the sort of person that, I mean, it's not mind walking, but that's probably a way that it first would show for Yusuf. The person that you're sort of in is like, "But it's a life pod, Dad, your father." Like, "Oh, show me where it is." And you see him sort of pull up the screens and that kind of stuff, and this is probably where Yusuf like kind of things, and it puts up like a moon near Sadal. For them, it's like they're not fans of like FTL. They like to just slowly take life as it is, kind of thing. So it would be a day's travel for them. From this moon near Sadal, and he's like, and you hear like the captain, the father, be like, "What would this do for our?" And then it sort of starts to fade out as they're discussing like, "What would this do for our fuel, our muse? How far would it take us from the rest of the fleet? We're supposed to
what's the Delta V and all that?"
They're talking about that, and like they're obviously going to rendezvous with another nomad fleet and stuff. But yeah, this nomad troop have found a diplomat's life
pod, life beacon.
Yeah, beacon of something near a moon in Sadal.
Near a moon in Sadal. Okay. I will probably text Shanaz. Something weird just happened. So there's a way for me to communicate secretly with Shanaz.
Oh, it's like being Lando Calrissian in Cloud City and just sending secret messages to Lobot. How were we going to get? We don't have a shuttle, do we?
Don't have a shuttle on.
We literally park up by the station.
Yeah, you dock with the station.
Are we separate from the other people? Is it just the three of us, or are we?
I mean, yeah, they've gone down to the place you've given them to stow their shit and that kind of stuff. So they're off there.
Okay.
Unless
And we're
you
just-
invite Yoons or any of them up. But in about like they've got like prep takes 30 minutes to, you know, secure concealed weapons and go through that kind of stuff. And also they're going to look over the plans of the portal station. Like they will have like that kind of stuff to look over and want to know where you're docking and that kind of stuff. So you've got time while they go through their mission.
I'll say to the others then, something really strange just happened. I did an unprompted mind walk somewhere with nomads. They picked up.
The nomads left recently. They stopped interacting on Coriolis.
Yeah, but there was a nomad, like a family ship, picked up the ambassador's life pod signal on a moon in the Sadal system. And I'll bring up the thing and I'll be like, I think it's that moon.
Do you know when?
No, it's weird, strange. But they said it would take them a day to get there from. So it was close to the moon. I don't know. It's that's the first time that's happened. I was thinking about the ambassador, and then you said, "Oh, use your sources," and I just like a.
It's a long shot,
very
but
strange.
we could do with following up on it. Your visions have proved right before. I'm loath to put all of our eggs in one basket, though.
Can send. We investigate our sources. Tell them not to put themselves in danger. Just go and info only.
Do you want to leave them with the ship? Or do you want me to take Yoons and Co. onto the station and you two can make the run to Sadal?
No, I think that I would rather you were with us than in a different system.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah, we've not been split that far.
We'll go through to Sadal. They check out.
They've got their contacts at the shipyard. We can drop them at the shipyard.
There you go. Drop them at the shipyard.
They can
and
collect
we
something
go and
for
investigate
themselves.
This moon.
Yeah, and we'll just set up a rendezvous with them.
All right.
But
We'll do
now,
that then.
let's go and schmooze these guys, see if they've got any info or fuel or anything else.
Yeah, we'll see what we can get out of the portal station and then we'll make the jump to Sadal. We weren't planning on staying long anyway.
No, I don't think so.
Might go and have a lie down if that's all right.
Sure.
That was a bit strange.
And I guess we should check our bank balance as well and see if did we overfund the revolution? And mind you, we can build the spiders, can't we?
We can.
And build the spiders, but you would have to explain why the portal jump was not to
We've got a
Zalos.
much bigger story on the way, though.
Yeah. Well,
oh yeah.
I mean,
Once we get there.
there's a question of, do you want to tell, like, the spiders?
Before we go.
Like,
Well, if we don't, the ambassador owes us some fuel.
I mean, these are the questions that you're potentially going to have to answer.
Yeah, do we want to let them know so they might wire us some cash? Can they do
But
that?
if we're paying it to their account, their accounts would be settled up once the portal
All right, yeah,
stations
sure.
sync with one another.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they would bill it to the Red Spider account, and then the Red Spiders would hold us to account when we get back to Coriolis and be like, "Why have you spent all of this extra cash
Yeah, better
going
to
here,
beg
here, and here?"
forgiveness than ask
Absolutely.
permission.
But also, like, if the red spiders think they have a story in the area and you want to keep this quiet, like you don't know what you're jumping into.
Mm.
So you could, like, there is also the
Yeah, I guess we'll see how much it
Reach
is.
out to them to see if they've got any information.
No, I think what
Let's-
Millie is saying is if we build the red spiders, we automatically tip their hand that there's something going on here.
Oh right,
That something
gotcha.
did go down. Yeah, that's true.
like they
Well,
will.
let's see what
there's
let's
plus
see what
and
we can
minus,
get
really,
for
isn't
free
there?
first.
No, I
Yeah.
love Coriolis.
Or even
Plus
just
and
the
minuses
promise
everywhere.
when we return.
Okay, so we talk about Yusuf's vision, We start, maybe like Adia is going to be like, all right, I'll pull up information about the moon. We'll look at like flight plans and stuff that might swing, like that we could. I'm not an navigation person, but I'll get on it. They say. Kirsch is like, yes, engine is good. Fine, okay, we dock now. Kirsch doesn't want anybody. Nobody's allowed in engineering. Like, there is a taped "go away" sign on the door. Yoons and his crew are like, okay, we're ready for you whenever we need. Silsila pilots and docks with the portal station. And next week we'll meet the portal crew. We'll meet this portal crew and their PMCs and whatever is going on out this way, and find out what's going on.
At the end of next week, own this.
We'll have bought everything, and we'll be playing a different game altogether. And the events of this book and the next will just happen somewhere beyond. Excellent. I'm having fun. I hope everybody else is having fun. Because whether we know it or not, things are happening. And we're stuck in the middle of it. It is Tuesday here on Gobbler Games. I don't know why I sang that. I don't know why I sang that.
Dudes.
But I decided to. Yeah, it's Tuesday. We've just played Coriolis. And then on Wednesdays, we're
returning to Warhammer Wednesdays.
Wifrip.
Cool.
Yes. Unfortunately, the Traveller game, because we had quite
There was some
a
gaps.
break. It was too long of a break, I think. And the momentum stalled.
I feel this
However,
pain. Yeah.
Always willing to go back to a bit of Warhammer. And it's a new show with new characters. Same, the Awatatau crew, but new characters. And it's going to be called Shillings and Crossbones. And it's a nautical adventure.
Awesome. A little bit of pirating and nautical combat.
Yes. And I believe it's beginning in Marienburg.
Okay, yeah, Marienburg, yeah.
Marienburg.
Nice.
Lots of possibilities. All the marshes and shit as well.
Marienburg on Sea.
Marienburg on
right,
sweat everywhere, on the land, in the waters, wet.
Don't
Just
laugh
wet.
again.
Oh, nice. So that starts tomorrow.
Yep.
I always personally forget. Do we start at 2030 or 2100?
It's 2100.
2100. Excellent. Because there was a brief time where we did it a bit earlier, and then I got
I know, but I'm producing, so
it's 2100.
bed.
Excellent. All right, so that's shillings and crossbows. Crossbows and shillings.
Shillings and crossbones.
Nice. That's Wednesdays. Thursday, we're gonna work out
Empire.
whether we get paid for our winning.
I think you mean you're gonna have to escape the planet alive.
But after we do that, we're gonna get
One
paid.
of these things is not like the other.
Paid for the Phoebus Memorial Run, right?
Oh yeah. Whether or not you won, because it was good fun actually, and Roger did the pod race last time, and won the Phoebus Memorial Run with some good rolls. It all came down to rolls in the end. So it was...
I loved how folks don't see the chat behind the screens, but Roger was like, "I'm gonna die. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die." And everyone's like.
And each zone, I was like, do you want to focus on staying in the race or avoiding the hazard? What's the hazard? Giant
Rocks
creatures
falling.
coming around, or rocks falling on your head, or electrocution from pylons and stuff. And he's like, no, I'm just going to stay in the race. It's like, okay, I get blowed up.
We did. He took some strain and battered on that vehicle.
Strain and hull points. So it was good fun.
Thursday
rescued the senator, and you had a bit of other stuff with the Empire and things. So it was good. It all worked out.
He's bashing up every authority troopers.
Mm-hmm.
Thursday we're back into another kind of space for Star Wars, and then it's not space, but it is weird when North America play Achtung Cthulhu.
It's otherworldly,
Eldritch.
indeed.
And that is everything we've got going on this week. But in between all that, you can come and join us on the Discords. We've been talking about vegetables, the qualities of vegetables, a little bit of biscotti chat earlier. Turnips.
Is this about turnip?
No, we were just chatting in the food channel, because there's
Yes.
some lovely things. There's been some old school OSR, old school revival. Is that the official thing? Been chatting about
Yeah.
that. There
Old
has
school
been
cool.
some Pathfinder, some fun
There's a new
stuff.
Starfinder book coming out. There's all kinds of stuff going on.
Fun stuff going on in the patron channels where we're talking about like patrons know what's in this, what Kirsch is up to. Patrons know.
Yeah.
'Cause they picked what was in her box.
Yeah.
They did it.
Oh, good. I feel safer already.
Yeah, I like the sound of that from it.
Patrons decided what she traded up for.
Did everyone watch Snakes on a Plane?
It's funny you should mention Snakes on a Plane because we were talking about. Do you remember the Delta Green session we ran? Snakes on a Plane.
Guys, I love that event.
Good fun. We were talking
Capybara
about that.
in a cubby
as
hole.
a patron only show, as part of our revamped patron tiers on the Patreon.
We played that. It's such good fun as Polish.
Yes,
Well,
it's a
Polish American truck
Polish American trucker on a plane
with zero useful skills.
With snakes.
with snakes. This is Delta Green.
Snake adjacent.
Snake adjacent.
Weird serpent things.
Yeah. But that's what we've been chatting about in the Patreon only section of the Discord. And while we talk about Patreon, please just check it out. Like, you don't have to join the Patreon. There is some cool stuff on there. The ship
There's free stuff.
Yeah, cool free stuff on there. There's ship stats, I think, are free up there. I think there's also a bundle of stuff, like if you ever go back and watch the old Coriolis, then there's some stuff for the character sheets for like Carvus and Zellion and stuff. We were talking about that in the Coriolis channel. Those are on there. And if you do join the Patreon, then there is like Foundry setups and Gartopia, all kinds of stuff from all the shows that are going on there. And also, you'll help us make some really cool stuff in the future, because we have got some really cool plans coming.
If you like, you can.
Yeah.
We've already asked people to comment, so we'll leave that for the comments, and I'll let you know in a couple of days.
Go back to it. Someone just suggested
Well, there's also YouTube. Don't discount YouTube. There's time.
Oh, yeah.
Give the YouTube, which links nicely to at the weekend. We'll put this on YouTube. If you are watching on YouTube, give us a subscribe because it just helps folks find more of it. Leave a comment.
44.
Is that all we need now for the next
That's what we need to get to 5K.
5K? 44 folks. There's 44 folks that will watch this or listen to this podcast. But yeah, subscribe. Do us a favour. Leave us a comment. Let us know what Silsila should take us to the next talent or upgrade. Thumbs up, all that kind of jazz. And watch the Phoebus Memorial Run or one of the 49 other games we played last year that I found out about before. 49? Yeah, 49.
Crazy.
Absolutely amazing stuff. But that's everything. I think I've said everything and implored you to come.
All the words.
There are
and
no
do
more
the
words.
things.
They're all gone now.
Okay, bye.